Hello everybody and welcome to the 50th episode of Kev Plays, Kev Plays, Kev Plays, Kev Plays, Kev Plays. He's gonna Kev play, we're gonna Kev play. A rock around the house, we're gonna Kev play. Hello everybody and welcome to another Kev Play. And this is part 25 of The Last of Us Remastered. It is our finale. It is also the 50th episode of Kev Plays if you count the 25 Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy episodes we had, and this being the 25th episode of The Last of Us Remastered. So 25 plus 25 is 50. Not that I care about milestones, but you know what? I wanted to be a little goofy because there's not much to do. I don't know if I want to go into Left Behind right away. I mean, I do at some point, but I don't know if it's going to be in this episode. We're going to see how quick it goes. But I do have a lot to talk about. Obviously, last episode we got out of that clicker bloater infested tunnel. We made it through like the water pipe system or whatever that was, and we jumped on the bus, and then Ellie, fell into the water, and we had to rescue her, and she wasn't breathing when we got out, but the fireflies came, and, they thought we were, like, attacking Ellie, for all they knew. So we got a little rifle butt to the head. But all misunderstandings aside, we were brought back to the firefly base. Ellie's being prepped for surgery. And big twist is that she's infected, and that since the infection revolves around the brain, they're gonna actually they have no choice but to kill her, in order to make strides in getting a vaccine. So that's not sitting well with Joel at all. Obviously, he went through a huge journey with Ellie. He's had his own personal stuff he's gone through. He's been very closed off about the death of his daughter, Sarah. He didn't like the idea that he even had to escort Ellie or be brought on this like escort mission that's supposed to save humanity and all those bells and whistles, but because it's again putting him in a position where he has to take care of somebody, and he can't live through that again. He can't live through something going wrong when he's supposed to be watching over a child. He blames himself, all that. But he learned to bond with Ellie, and through their experiences together, good and bad, mostly bad, but good for like they were there. He was the constant for her, and vice versa. They were the ones that were on the same team, and they were, they shared a human experience together, and now that's about to be stripped all away again. After this being the place that this is the end mission, that we were supposed to bring her to the Firefly Hospital, and she was going to be the cure for mankind, or the catalyst for the cure to mankind, but now it's the way it's being done. It's the direness of the situation that Ellie's gonna have to die in order to let that in order for that to come to fruition. So obviously Joel's not having this. Obviously there's a lot of arguments to be made about that we talked about last episode. One of the things I didn't talk about last time is, and this was one of my original arguments against the idea of against the Firefly's cause, is that if they have their argument is that this will save mankind, and obviously Marlene has connection to Ellie also. She's been with her longer. She knows her mother, Ellie's mother. You know, she has a very emotional responsibility for her Ellie. But as she said, this is a decision that's beyond her, beyond Ellie, because it's all in the name of like saving mankind and kind of restarting the country and getting everything back on its feet and ending this nightmare that we've been living in. That said, what I always thought was, out of all the horrible people that we've come across and the horrible behavior and just the horrible systematic um, tribalism and like the different factions, and how everyone is just so gun ho to survive to the point where the ends justify the means, and everyone's resorted to cannibalism. We just escaped a pedophile slash rapist slash murderer slash cannibal, like the worst of the worst of humankind, of mankind, of humanity, I guess. Does mankind basically my initial thing when I first played this game was, out of all the crappiness that we've experienced through humanity in this game, does humankind actually deserve a cure after the nature that we are, like the nature we resort to? But then again, that's generalizing. Not everybody is bad. Not everybody is good, but not everyone's bad, and you can't cherry pick one terrible event or terrible person or terrible group of people over the idea of the more promising and more hopeful and more redeeming qualities of humanity. So, not that fair of an argument. I remember I used to have that argument, but, and I know. By the way, surgery is going on right now. I should probably go in there and stop it. But let's just think on it for a second, so that we have some, for whatever we choose to do in this situation, we have some agency to why we did that. Um, or I'm just stalling. Yeah, maybe it's that. But either way, it also comes down to Joel. Like Joel's argument is he has a very biased connection with her. He has this thing with his daughter. He has this this kind of vicarious rebirth of a relationship with Ellie through that same type of father-daughter type relationship. He has a connection to her. It's a human. It's in his nature, in his moral nature to want to stop this. That said, if he's in a moral position or if he's in a position to to consider it as a moral problem, then why is he killing all these people in order to solve it? You know what I mean? It's like, it's very messy. Is Joel a bad person? Back to like very early on in the game, I was actually questioning that when Ellie asked him if, like, how do you know what, like, the hunters were ambushing us? Like, how do you know those guys were ambushing us? And Joel said, I used to be on that side. I've been on both sides of an ambush before. Like, Joel has set up ambushes against innocent people, and he's been on the opposite end as well. Goes to show what type of person, or who exactly was he? I doubt. I mean, it says a lot that he left that lifestyle and left and return. You know, returned with Tess to like a safe zone protected by the military. Um, but also we know that Tommy was with him too back in the day, and Tommy was the one that actually was had took the more moral high ground to leave, and maybe that connection, that brother connection that was severed, caused Joel to think, I don't want to be with these people. And if that's what made him choose that over his own uh, consideration, you know, regardless of what his brother thought or not, or what his brother decided to do or not, why didn't Joel make that decision on his own? What was it about? What's it say to him if he's the one who's kind of lingering around after his brother leaves? That those group of people. But anyway, we should probably save or not save. Like, are we still in the midst of our decision here in this long walk of the hallway? Not that there's any collectibles that will make a difference in this. Alright, let's get going. Enough stalling. Surgery's underway. Oh, I was hoping to shine my light through here and then just watch them like freak out.
Sweet Jesus.
Doctor? What are you doing in here?
What am I doing?
I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
Oh, I can't use a bomb or Molotov in this thing. In this situation, it's even worse than gunning down people who are gunning down us. Obviously, the Firefoot, you know, they were well-intentioned people, or good, you know, people with good intentions that were fighting against us. But this is, we could stop this right now. It's completely within our, it's literally up to us. There is no there's no plot device that's preventing us from rescuing her right now. Can I just walk out the door? I wonder if I can. This door is done. You thought I left, didn't you?
Don't come any closer. I mean it.
Maybe if I fire off key here? Alright, shoot the lights out. Screw it. Oh, I've never seen that before. Oh. Wow. So I guess that's the end of, that's my choice. I died. Alright everyone, I will catch you guys next time. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next Kev play. No, I'm just joking. I wonder if I need to collect the recorder again. I do. Which we already listened to. So the game is actually forcing me to make the decision. This isn't a game. This isn't what does the player want? It's what's the character gonna do? What's Joel gonna do? And that's when we realize this is a heavy moment.
Jesus.
Doctor? What are you doing in here? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save. Don't...
You fucking animal!
Harry, shut the hell up!
Sorry you had to hear that, Ellie. Maybe I could turn back still. Let's see what happens if I walk out. Oh, okay. All right, the crazy Joker guy did not work out. Oh God. So now that I had a little fun, this is not fun, by the way. I made the other that last version was the sadistic version. Obviously, this is a very heavy moment, and I'm not proud of what I'm doing here. This is what the game wants. I mean, you know, I'll be peaceful about it. It's very this is hard. It's this moment though. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm gonna do it right this time. I'm gonna stop playing games. I don't want to hear her. It breaks my heart that she starts crying. This is awful. This really is one of the most heaviest moments of any game I've ever played. The only reason I'm making a joke out of it is it's almost like it's like an emotional detachment. I have to detach myself from the moment. Okay, I think I'm done talking. I'm just gonna. Sorry. Alright. Let's get this done before those guys show up.
Come on, baby girl. I got you. I got you. Oh, shit. Come on. Tell me which way.
And they're not gonna fire at me with her in my arms.
Rook.
I said get back!
They're just trying to scare me.
Stop!
You can't save her. Even if you get her out of here, then what? How long before she's torn to pieces by a pack of clickers? That is, if she hasn't been raped and murdered first.
It ain't for you to decide.
It's what she'd want. And you know it. Look. You can still do the right thing here. She won't feel anything.
What the hell am I wearing?
Just take it easy. Drugs are still wearing off.
What happened?
We found the fireflies. Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that are immune. There's dozens, actually. Ain't done 'em a damn bit of good, neither. They've stopped looking for a cure. I'm taking us home. Sorry.
Wait! Let me go. Please.
You just come after her.
Well, looks like we're walking.
Oh
Should be
wow.
a straight shot through here.
Alright.
It's actually kind of pretty, ain't it?
Huh.
Yeah.
Notice how as soon as Joel commits this act, this evil act, obviously I played it up very, in a jokey, sadistic way, but regardless, he just shot 3 surgeons, and Marlene, who is approaching him very compassionately about it, once again, even bringing up more argument of, this is what Ellie would want. This is probably what this is what Ellie was pretty much signed up for. She knew there probably were risks. They probably never told her that this was a sure thing to kill her, but she probably knew the risks. And at some point Ellie is gonna die, and Joel doesn't, he can't wrap his head around that. And whether it's from a clicker or from just more, more violence, human on human violence, or whatever, or just a regular death, even if she just dies peacefully, hopefully, ideally, we're all gonna die at some point, but this would have been a more meaningful death, I think, but Joel couldn't accept that. There's no way he would have been able to wrap his head around that. It's interesting how if I was Ellie and I was in a hospital gown in the back of a car, and Joel's telling us that, oh, there's like dozens more like you, and they've stopped looking for a cure. Like, wait, so is there dozens more like her, and they're gonna, try to like look for a vaccine through them, or did they stop looking for a cure? Because those are two, like, that's a hypocrisy right there, And even if they have 100, what's 101 more gonna hurt? Why would you stop looking for a cure if that's their cause? Their whole spiel is to find a cure and to, ensure humanity's future. But back to the gown. She's lying in the back of a car in her hospital gown, no clothes that she brought with her. Why would they dismiss her? Ellie has to be wondering why they would just dismiss her. She's still drugged up. There's literally no consent. Obviously, there was no consent for her to do the surgery without, since they withheld the information that she is definitely going to die from this. But then there's no follow-up for her. There's no, from her perspective, there's no, like, this is what we did. Surgery went well. Or, we canceled the surgery. None of that. It's just she wakes up in the back of a car and Joel is kind of just spewing this bullshit. They, like, why wouldn't they give her clothes if she was properly dismissed? So that's just another thing right there. Obviously, it's just like there's so many alarm bells being set off, I would imagine, that at least raise suspicions. She has no idea what happened. Maybe something crazy went down. Maybe it came to something in the surgery where they realized they have to kill her or something, or like something went wrong and Joel's just withholding that information. Obviously, she has no idea what he's done, specifics, but I'm talking in a bunch of like random circles, but I just want to say I love how this game started off with playing as Sarah, his daughter, which impacted the player when she's killed off, and we watch Joel just like, hold Sarah in his arms, as she's, like sand, slipping through his fingers. For us to be introduced to the protagonist as Sarah, and then we lose her, and then for it to end with Joel committing this just completely despicable act, multiple despicable acts, and then the game takes the perspective away from Joel. It's like he hasn't earned it. He hasn't earned. Because of what he did, we don't deserve to play as him, or he doesn't deserve to be played as. And we're in Ellie's shoes right now. And I love that kind of bookend to the, like, it's like there's an impactful creative reason as to why we're playing as Ellie now and Sarah in the beginning, and they're for completely different reasons. But they're no less impactful, just as impactful and thought-provoking. So we're in Jackson City. What we say here? Look for the light, the fireflies.
All right.
We're going back to Tommy's, it
Okay,
looks
going
like.
through.
I got it.
Oh. Feeling my age now.
And look at Joel jogging ahead
I think
like
I ever told you, but Sarah and I used to take hikes like this. I think the two of you would have been good friends. I think you really would have liked it. I know she'd have liked it.
I bet I would have.
you could see Ellie's questioning everything right now. What I was gonna say was, look how Joel just skipped ahead just now, and he's talking about Sarah, like, oh, you would have been good friends. I think, like, he has emotionally came so far from the post-traumatic stress and the closed offness, the completely closing his heart to the world, and now he's at this point. It's like a point of what's the word? Not euphoria, but like ecstasy. I don't know. I guess that's the word I was looking for, but it doesn't really match. But you know what I mean. He's happy now. He's open, and he achieved that through very dirty means. And we wanted him to get there, but I don't think we wanted him to get there like this. And the way he just skipped ahead like he's a little kid in a candy store, now that he's achieved this, completely dismissive of what, completely withholding information from Ellie, very serious information. He murdered Marlene. He wiped out that whole Firefly faction. Not that I'm sure there's more Fireflies. Obviously, we left a whole crap load behind, but she's completely in the dark about that, and it's almost like dismissive and inconsiderate to her. They supposedly have this bond, but he can't share this with her. Sure, it's for the good of her. It might be for the good of her, for her own good. But it's pretty obvious that there's something up about all of this. I wonder what she has. Any artifacts since looks like everything we had back when. Yep, note from Mom, Switchblade. By the way, I want to see if we have. No. I want to look at the statistics. This is our kills and like everything we did. Oh wait, but is this? Oh, is this what, like, my past playthroughs, or is this just this specific playthrough? That's what I want to know. Because, I mean, 536 kills seems like one solid playthrough. Total deaths, 19. Obviously, a lot of those deaths were accidental or could have been avoided. Ally deaths. Oh, yeah, there was one death. I think it was, like, Bill, or... No, it might have been Ellie. But I could have sworn maybe... it was more than that. Like, there was like 2 or 3. Damage taken 2,752. Firearm kills 341. Shots fired 684. So we were like 50% accurate almost. Shots hit 490. Well, I guess. Okay, yeah. So with shots fired and shots hit, so. More than half of our shots landed. Accuracy is 71%. There you go. See, Just gotta read a little lower. Headshot kills 67. I had a lot of good headshot kills in this game, especially from far away. I was pretty impressed, or impressed with myself, because usually I'm, in the heat of the moment, it's hard to land those things. Hunting rifle headshot 17. Kills while holding a human shield. Oh yeah, 2. Okay, yeah. Melee 2 melee. Oh wait, no. 187 melee kills. Chokeouts 48. Artifacts found 85. And we didn't do any left behind yet. Melee weapons crafted 11. Yeah, I didn't do much of that. Shivs crafted 15. I wonder if we got all the shiv doors in this game, in this playthrough. Health kits crafted 22. Molotovs crafted 31. Bombs crafted 7. Smoke bombs crafted 5. That's true. I didn't really use many of the bombs or smoke bombs. Bricks or bottles hit 6. Molotov kills 53. We got a lot of Molotov kills, like multiple ones. I remember there was like 5 infected that we got in one Molotov throw. Bomb kills inside smoke. Upgrade. Wait. Okay, 10. Okay, but I was gonna say we got more than one bomb kill, but yeah, 10 sounds right. Upgraded melee weapon kills 24. Melee weapon kills 70. This is by the way. This is, if you care about stats, this is for those people. Obviously, I am stalling a bit, but shiv kills 1. Oh yeah, there was one kill where I was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, because I was trying to save my shivs. I didn't need to be so conservative with my shivs, but I think you need to be pretty much like 80% conservative, even on normal mode. Infected close range bloater kills 0. Oh, this is 0. Draw upgrades purchased 10. Weapon upgrades purchased 47. Locked doors opened 12. Correct me if I'm wrong. How many shiv doors are there? Is there 12? I would assume maybe that's correct, because I feel like I didn't miss anything in terms of shiv doors, at least. Conversations 31. And this is just stuff I've done before in the past. I haven't played Left Behind in a long time, ever since like 2014, 2015, so. I want to see what's over here. And by the way, I heard that The Last of Us Part 2 will, it right now in terms of pre-orders, it's like exceeding like God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn and like all those first party titles. It's even with the spoiler leak, which I still have no idea of. I have no idea of any of the leaks that happened, of what happens in the game. We, like, even with those in mind, there's like the pre-order sales are hitting like a historic record for PlayStation, so that's a great sign, I think. I also want to thank, not so much thank, but I'm kind of, as much as I would have liked for people to come and kind of pop in on this stream, this playthrough that I did, I'm kind of glad nobody did, because I wanted, like, spoilers aside, like, obviously I'm leaving this open for people to. It's very risky what I'm doing. I'm leaving it open as I play, for anyone to jump in and like, you never know who's gonna. You get that bad egg and he or she like spoils a bunch of stuff in the sequel that leaked or whatever. I'm thankful that nobody was an asshole. And that said, I don't really have a huge subscriber base or a viewer base, so that is probably, the credit probably goes more to that, but I'm also kind of glad that this was the one game that nobody really popped in, because I was still trying to keep The Last of Us, just this game alone, spoiler free. I wanted this game to be a game that you can watch from the beginning as someone who doesn't have access to the game, or who just doesn't typically play games, and you could follow along. We could talk about it. I wouldn't talk through the cutscenes, so you can actually like hear the cutscenes and and then kind of have like a vicarious discussion through me of what I'm thinking and what you might be thinking. Obviously, there's different interpretations of the story. but I hope that I offered a very expansive amount of analysis and thoughts and interpretation throughout the game that could make you think and make you maybe change your mind about certain things or not, or feel validated, or just feel like you're, you know just to keep your mind the wheels in your mind moving as you play this game, because this is a game that you got to take in. It's something that you need to let the experience seep in. Obviously it's a different experience to play the game than to just watch someone else, but if I watch a lot of Let's Plays of how other people try to do Let's Plays of this game, and it just I feel like people never really get it right. There's probably a few that do, but most of the time it's like someone just like screaming or babbling, or like, I mean, I babble, but like I try to keep it. I don't like to talk over cutscenes. I don't like to talk over dialogue, in-game dialogue. I don't, and I like to actually, and I don't like to spoil it. There's people that were like talking about the ending in one of their playthroughs, like in their like very first episode, like as if they assume everyone who's watching knows what happens or whatever. And I don't understand. Like I definitely wanted to create a Let's Play for this that kind of, for people, anyone who's like me that's looking for kind of a vicarious thrill, even though this isn't a blind playthrough, but if anyone wanted to watch a playthrough of someone who actually knows the story and kind of can kind of have like because when you rewatch like a movie or a show for like a second or third time, you gain more perspective on it. That's kind of what I wanted to offer with this game. So and I hope I did that adequately, at least. I know I can talk about a lot of random stuff too, but I guess that kind of keeps us on our toes. I like to keep, talk about things that are up to date, or what games I'm playing, or off camera. Which, by the way, I started Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and I'm enjoying it. I forgot how much. I'm enjoying it for the most part, because I forgot how much more moves are added that actually improve on the game. A lot of quality of life stuff, like there's like, and just like cool things like the Burt slide, and a lot of the parkour, and you can ride like the bicycle is actually like a what I didn't like about Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is they introduced all these like different vehicles, like different secret skaters who have different vehicles in this story mode, and it's like I don't want to use different vehicles. Like I'm trying to. It's a skateboard game. I'd rather I'd rather it not become such like a wacky thing. But I think they in Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, they mastered the bike physics of introducing the bike, and that was cool. That said, I think the story is a little lackluster. It feels a little bit soulless in a way. The way you're just like, because even Thug 2, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, it was a step in a different direction from the Tony Hawk's Underground 1, which is more about making your mark and like starting as like a new skater and trying to like enter the pro-ams and all that stuff, and then kind of making it big. It's like a little success story. Well, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is more of like a jackass story. You're just like going along the ride with like Bam Margera and like Phil Margera and Wee Man and all those people. But with Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, it's supposed to be like you're moving to LA for the first time, and you're you're doing whatever. Like you're just trying to like survive there, and like you don't want to live out, you just like live on your own or whatever, but like make money as a skateboarder, and but like everything's about like destroying things and like being like, very anarchy, but like there's really no story. It's just like let's just tear shit up and like knock stuff over. Like that's kind of what Thug 2 was, but at least it had kind of like a story to it, I guess. but I don't know. That's just me. But for the most part, I'm enjoying that game. Anyway, let's get back into this. I know I dawdled a lot in this area, but this is kind of a section where you're supposed to reflect, and I feel like we've covered that, but maybe there's more to it. We'll see. I thought there was a collectible around here, but I didn't see anything. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me just... give me a minute. Can't listen. I'm glad I didn't use my listen mode, or upgrade my listen mode, because I feel like that's on normal, you don't need listen mode on normal. Like when you play on Grounded, they actually get rid of the listen mode. So... but I didn't want to play on Grounded. I didn't want to I didn't want this to be like about like difficulty and like try to impress the viewer with like a hard difficulty. I just really wanted to play this to get ready for The Last of Us Part 2 and just enjoy the story at a leisure pace. Obviously, normal is not super easy. It's normal, so it's still like I would say is a fair difficulty to play on. That said, if I'm gonna play on normal, I don't need listen mode at least, so... even though I did use it a lot, I just didn't need to upgrade it. Let's see what we got here.
Oh. Down there. Just a little bit further now.
I always check a waterfall in a video game. Collectibles or anything. This music, by the way, is very... I love it. I love how, like... kind of tiptoeing around the... around the issue, I guess, it feels like. It's, like, very, you know... very delicate and very,
Here, I got you.
Let's do it.
Give me your hand. All right, come on.
Hey, wait. Back in Boston? Back when I was bitten? I wasn't alone. My best friend was there. And she got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So... she says... let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
You don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you... no matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay?
I love this music. And I didn't want to talk over it because I'm a big believer that end credits music, especially the first music you hear after the ending scene, is an extension of the emotions you're supposed to feel in a game or a movie or TV show. So I forgot how great that music is and how great, because it's an extension of that moment. I mean, Ellie reveals. We did see in her backpack. There's a. I believe it's a pendant that says, "Oh, look at those dogs." Aw. There's a pendant that says Riley. So, and she has like a moment of like grief about it when you actually go through the backpack in the winter section. So it shows that Ellie has always been waiting for death, and she's always been waiting for her moment when, you know, maybe the infection would take over or anything. You know, she was ready for a long time. She stays positive, you know, and she jokes, but she's been waiting for that moment, and she knew that. It's almost like she knew that this was going to be the moment in a way. It's like she knew that this was supposed to be what her destiny was. And for them to just mysteriously walk away, obviously she's left questioning that. And she gives Joel one last chance to say, like, just swear to me what you said was true about the Fireflies and what happened. And he does, and he gives her that. She gives him that chance, and I think for her it's like suspension of disbelief. Even if she doesn't believe it, I think she wants like every fiber in her being wants to believe him so that they could move on. Because what he's telling her is, you have to find something else to fight for, and I know you don't want to hear it now because, you know, you're still trying to wrap your head around what else is there, what's next. But there is something next, and there's something to hope for, and that's something that it's a good line of thinking for, you know, I mean, it's convenient that it helps his argument, but that's a healthy way to approach life going forward. And I think she wants that, but she has to kind of suspend her disbelief that Joel is lying. So in the sequel, who knows if this will ever be kind of touched on again? Will Joel actually kind of admit this truth, or like will she bring it out of him, or will she have already known by now, from the very beginning of the game, if he was full of shit or not? It's very interesting where it goes from here, because you wonder what the state of Joel and Ellie's relationship is going to be, and how it's going to be followed up. You know, is it going to be a standalone story of something else entirely, or do they actually follow up on this in any thematic way? That's what I'm wondering going forward. I always imagined they would, but I honestly have no idea how it's going to be handled. I'm very excited to see how it plays out, but that's The Last of Us, and we will do Left Behind. The very next thing we're going to be doing is Left Behind, and I don't know how long that's going to take, but we'll see. I'm guessing it's gonna be like 2 or 3 hours. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's more. Maybe it's like 6 hours. I don't even. I honestly don't remember. Depends on how how I play it. But I figure we'll do that, and then we'll play like an hour of online. Like whatever happens online, that will be like our online episode. But I'm glad we played this again, and I want to commend like Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, who plays Joel and Ellie. I think they did a tremendous job. It's weird because Troy Baker is a very different person, I think, in real life than the character of Joel. He's a lot more goofier. But I think Joel is one of his best characters that he's ever done. He's been in other things. He's played characters in Uncharted. He was one of the antagonists in Death Stranding. But I think Joel is gonna be his like trademark character going down. Like when all is said and done. But holy cow, what a game! I'm thankful anyone who visits this channel in the future and you watch, and I hope you get some enjoyment out of it. And I thank you for watching. Anybody who watches. And that's it. It feels like we've been doing this for a while now. But it's interesting that it took in 3 games of Crash Bandicoot and Sane Trilogy, with the DLC included, the Stormy Ascent and Future Tense, it took me 25 hours, or 25 episodes to complete that, whereas in just the story of The Last of Us, we did that in 25 hours. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit longer since we'll do Left Behind and then an online episode. But, it goes to show that this is a big game. Like, and, it's not God of War long, I don't think, because I think God of War was like 60 hours just playing the story. I could be wrong, or was it 100%? But anyway, enough of my non sequitur babbling. Everyone, this is The Last of Us. This is our 50th episode. Not that I care about milestones, but I just thought it's something to note. Hopefully we can make it to 100 episodes at some point. But for now, that's the story of The Last of Us, and I thank you everyone for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next Kev Play. Kevin out. Also, be safe, be healthy, stay healthy, and keep a clear head. See you guys soon.